Hey everyone, it's Gamefruitpulp, and welcome back to the 56th episode of Minecraft Building Toronto, which is kind of crazy to think about that we've had that many episodes. But in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at some of our progress on the east end of the map. Last episode, we looked at the west end, and today I figured it was only right to take a look at some of our great east end progress, and take a look at some of the builds built by our new builders, which have been recently added to the team. If you missed a couple weeks ago, I put out an announcement video announcing that we were looking for some new builders. And we got some really great ones, so I'm really happy to have them on the team. We haven't completely closed off the search. We're going to keep it open and keep looking at people, but for the most part, the team is as full as we want it to be. But if you want to apply, you never know, so send in that application. And if we ever do open up for more builders, or we're looking for a couple new people, then be sure to we'll be looking at those applications. So don't be discouraged to not apply, but just so you're aware. We have filled a majority of the applications that we're looking for. But in today's video, we're going to be focusing on the builds. So there's two main blocks on the east end that we're going to be looking at today. The first one you're looking at right now has a good combination of a newer built condo, a construction zone, and some more traditional builds as well. This whole block was built by Storm, who's obviously our longtime builder, and the interior on the condo was done by Apache, who's our resident interior expert. It turned out really well. The crane's a nice touch as well. They're currently building another condo there. And so we thought we would portray this with a cool construction site and sort of try and get that as accurately as possible as well. There's a couple office buildings that are more traditional style that you can see there. And that's really it with this block. Not too much going on with it. The Albany Club is also there, which is a sort of a traditional club. You have to pay membership to go to events and stuff in the location. And then there's obviously the steakhouse as well. I almost forgot, actually, we're doing something a little different with this Building Toronto episode. Obviously, you can tell the cinematics are a little bit better than typical from my channel, so I'm trying to really, I'm putting out less content, but I'm trying to make it more enjoyable content for you guys, and so be sure to let me know what you think about it, and if you're enjoying this new sort of style. I'm still learning how to use the replay mod. So that's why you see some little errors and stuff like that on the camera paths. But like I said, I'm trying my best to sort of improve the quality of stuff I'm putting out to you guys and make sure it's enjoyable content for you guys to watch. So let me know what you think about it and how I did, and any ways I could improve as well. But as we continue through this block, obviously we're coming down now. We're going to see the steakhouse, which has been built for quite a while, but I don't think we ever featured it. This has been built probably for almost 6 months, I would say, just because I don't like featuring half-built blocks. I like featuring the block when it's completely built. So a good look at the steakhouse and how it's sort of on the way of being towered over by two different condos on the same block. Obviously, when this other condo is built, and then the I think it's called Tom Jones Steakhouse, is going to be there it's going to be there, but it's going to be in the shadows of these newer, more modern-looking towers. Probably the new one is going to be modern as well. That's normally what they build for newer construction, especially in the east end. And then we sort of just take a look here as we move into the interior work done by Apache. He always does a great job of providing a good mixture of consistent builds and also in adding some unique ones as well. And then obviously I wanted to finish off with a full view of the block. So you can see there's a lot going on there, but also not too much at the same time. It's a good little mixture of different varieties. And then we move to our second block that we're going to be looking at today. A couple of the buildings on this block have been featured already. And then we're going to be taking to sort of fill in the gaps of those buildings that have already been featured. We're going to be taking a look at some of the new buildings done by other builders as well. So obviously moving down here, we're going to first look at a builder who actually unfortunately had to leave the team just because of real life commitments. He wasn't able to dedicate enough time to the team, but I really wanted to showcase his build because he did such a good job on it. And this is Von Frank. Von Frank was on the team for a short time. This was, I think, his only full build that he completed, but it turned out really, really beautifully. This sort of brick corner building, and I really like it. And this is an example of me talking about not knowing what I'm doing with the replay mod yet. But you can see the building itself is quite beautiful. It's quite detailed, and it turned out really, really well. So I wanted to sort of make sure I featured that. And then move over to the old post office and Old Post Office Lane. This was built by Storm, and it turned out really good as well. He did a lot of work on the exterior, but he also did put some time in on the interior, and it did looks quite good as well. And he built this quite quickly. It was a quick turnaround. I was trying to get him to finish it so that I could do a video on the block, and he turned it around quite quickly. So quite appreciative about the hard work of Storm as always. And there's a couple other buildings you're seeing in the background here that we're not going to be featuring too too much to say. Obviously, the left and the right side. The one on the right side was built by me. I've looked at it in other videos, and the one on the left was built by Ninja, who is no longer with the team. Moving back to the next sort of building is a building that I actually did. I took a break from my current project, which is quite substantial, and I don't want to expose too much about it until I think it's ready to be showcased. But I took a break from what I was working on and started doing this building here. And it was a sort of a... This building reminds me of the Collins Barrow building near 1 King Street West. Very similar design, but a little bit smaller scale, obviously. And then I did the interiors as well, and I really liked actually how the interior turned out, especially on the restaurant. This one we're in right now, which is Charisma is the name of the restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant. And if I remember, I will link it in the description because, like I said, I always want to try and feature the buildings or feature the restaurants in the videos we're sort of showcasing. This is obviously a more, not obviously, this is a more higher tier restaurant. It's a fine dining place. I actually had I was lucky enough to be able to eat there at their old location, and it was quite delicious. Probably one of the best meals I've ever had. So I wanted to try and build that myself to sort of showcase or to sort of give them the proper attention that the place deserved. Swinging around now, we have the Adelaide, which is the interior is not complete yet on this building. It's been built twice. It was built once by a builder who's no longer with us, and then rebuilt by Storm, just to try and capture a bit more detail. The interior is going to be done by Apache once he's done his current project, which is a quite substantial one, so I'm not really sure when that's going to come around to be finished. But a good look at the exterior of the build. Obviously, it looks quite nice. It's quite a lot of detail. Storm is always very good at capturing. And then we got some nice exterior details as well on the sidewalk. We got a couple picnic tables and that kind of good stuff. And that's sort of where we go from there with that. And as you sort of take a look at that building and we check out the intersection, which is obviously one of the things that I think is pretty important, we sort of move along to the west and look at the intersection and sort of detail work on the sandstone as well. And then we only have one or two more builds to go after that. And one of them is built by both actually that are going to be seen here are built by new builders. There's a couple new builders whose work I haven't showcased in this video just because they're working at other parts of the map that are not quite ready for showcasing, but I'll make sure that that their work is obviously showcased in future videos. But all of our new builders are all really skilled, and I'm really sort of happy to have them on the team. And we've made some good progress this past month, and I want to try and make sure these come out at least once a month or once every 2 weeks is preferable. I've been doing a lot of Building Toronto Extras videos and not showcasing a lot of the builds that have been being done, and so I'm going to try and do regular Building Toronto videos more consistently going forward. That's one of my goals on the channel. This building was built by a new builder. I believe his name is Balls. So Balls has built a couple things. This was his first build. This was his test build, and he did a great job on it. He really captured the details of the map, details of the building. He got the basement unit, which I don't think we showcased. You can kind of see it, I believe, when I have a bad camera path. You can kind of see the basement, but he did a great job on the main floor, sort of cafe. I'm not really sure what's here. Then obviously, as you zoom out here, we're going to go below ground. You can see a little bit about the basement office thing that's going on. I really messed up this camera path. So I do have work to do on making the stuff more cinematic, but I think it was a good start. Hopefully you guys agree. And then the last building, which we don't really showcase because the block's not complete, is the one to the right. That was built by one of our new builders, Toxicity, who's another interior, one of our interior specialists, but he did want to do an exterior build, and he was doing a lot for the project, so I wanted to let him do that opportunity, and he did a good job on it as well. So, like I said, all good builders, and I'm really happy to have them on the team, and we're making some good progress on the east end of the map, and there's some really cool stuff coming if I can just sort of build quicker, but I'm trying to be as accurate as I can, but I'm really excited about what's coming down the lines next couple weeks for the project, and that is really everything. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returning viewer and you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button and share the channel with some of your friends. Share the project with them, and maybe we can continue to grow this great community and keep growing the city of Toronto as well. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments about this sort of style of video. If you think I'm doing a good job of it, if you like me just flying around like I normally do. And that's really everything. But thank you guys very much for watching. My name is Gamefruitpulp, and I will catch you guys all next time. Have a good one.